understanding, because one of the things that I came out here and talked to my wife is, why in the world, if these guys, if Doug, if they're as good as they say they are, as they're trying to convince you guys and to come out here and to pay this money, why would they share this knowledge with you? Why are they not doing it themselves? If they're really that good, why are they not doing it themselves? And that's part of the skepticism that was in my mind to come out here. But I mean, I know that now because you guys can share this knowledge, not only your personal story, with Ryan and all, but mainly you can share this knowledge with different guys, because there's still plenty of work to go around. There's still plenty of work. I mean, like I said, I got to worry less about, trying to fight my competition off going after a particular job I see in this market than I do in the private. I was telling Sean, one of the things that I did is similar to what one of your other guys had done. Immediately I started doing a Google search.
Right.
Trying to find the negative. And you went through it and it just wasn't out there. I think the only negative thing that really found against you guys was talking about validity of company, not having branded email, because you use your Gmails versus that. But I was like, really? That's the only negative that I can find. So it just, and that's what prompted it. So I kept looking, and I told Sean it was just, because all I do is private work, and I had just lost a big job. And I threw my phone across the room, and that's when, basically after that, I decided to pick up the phone and call him and say, okay, I'm going to talk to a live person. I've got a high BS meter. I can probably determine within 5-10 minutes that this guy is, and then and that's kind of really what started it. And then I think, the next week so I made the decision to come out here.
Oh, so that was pretty, within just a few days, you went from, okay, I want to talk to the guy, to saying I'm going, huh?
As a business owner, I have to make those decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
When I look at equipment and tools for my guys, I spend more money and buy higher quality tools because they last longer and they help my guys to work more efficient, which ultimately helps me to make more money. So that's what I was hoping when I came here. One, to dispel the fear of government contract, because I had never done any government contract. I priced on one, 2 of them I'd looked at, and I found out why the one out of Creech Air Force Base I didn't get. Because I specifically remember now, it was in Creech, but the control officer was in Utah, and the job was in Nevada. So when I was looking for that job out in Nevada, it wasn't showing up.
So one of the things you mentioned was the fear, that you've had a fear of doing federal contracts. Is that fear totally and 100% eliminated forever?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, when I came here, that was my initial hope. You told me when I talked to you, because you said before I signed up, just here's my dad's cell number, just give him a call. Talk to him, spend 10 minutes talking to him, and just ask him. So I called you and you picked up the first time, which was like, okay, he's probably sitting right next to him. And I said, no. I said, don't worry. I said, I'll just call. But I talked to you. And you said something best, that you said, if you're coming out here, you're going to be interested in getting that first federal job. People come out here at different stages, they're looking for different things. Now you said, when you have the opportunity to come back to the class, you're going to hear stuff, and you're going to say, did you talk about that before? And I'm going to say, yeah, but that was not your focus at the time.
Right.
So, and I knew coming out here is to focus on getting that eliminating the fear and getting that first federal job. That's all the expectations I had coming out here. With the money back, if I was going to think that my investment was going to be worth it.
Right.
If I couldn't at least satisfy those two to the point where I felt comfortable with it, then, the money wasn't worth it. But now, just even sitting in the class, it's beyond that. The fear is gone. Just looking at bid track, I know some things I'm going to go after, particularly with RFQ. My knowledge, it's just, I'm not, like I said, I'm going to learn to walk instead of run. but I've got higher expectations as I leave out here today than when I came in here, so that's value right there.
Well, when you kind of go through this process, and for you it was a 3-month process, and some people have waited years to get here. I mean, one guy, the last guy that was here on the last workshop, for 3 years, he's been saving his money to get here. He had told his girlfriend 3 years ago, I really want to go to this, but I don't have the money, right? And he was the guy that clicked get tickets and invested. He came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he called up and said, hey, I invested, I'm coming, you guys are going to be there, right? I mean, he was like, you know, he'd been watching us for 3 years, and he's actually out working on a federal contract right now from just a couple weeks ago. So in the overall scheme of things, that process that took you several months to do, you had to struggle through this. You had to Google us, figure out, you know, are these guys for real? You had to go through and make the phone call, listen to that BS meter. Mm-hmm. What do you tell somebody that's like you, that's struggling with the same problems that you were struggling with, mm-hmm. looking right in the camera, somebody's got, they're borderline. It might have been a month or two, it might have been 6 months, it might have been a year. What do you tell somebody about what you've been through here for 3 days?
What I've been through in these 3 days, it is so much more than what I expected to get when I got here. The information that I got based off of my contracting experience and being a private contractor for 23 years, there's nothing that I heard that has not seemed unrealistic as far as the procedures and what you do to get these jobs. And it really, I mean, it really is, I mean, to me, a lot of the applications are very simple, you know. There's nothing really complicated other than the fact that, you know, just taking that initial step to come out here and to do this, you know. I mean, I was at a point in my business to where I knew that I had to do something that I explained to you, you know. For me, stupidity, the definition, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. In the private market with the guys and what they were doing, I'm doing the same thing, but the owners, the banking, the laws and all, they have changed. So working for tighter margins, working harder for less margin, and, you know, I see how I can work smarter, not harder.
Last night, I think it was, you told Sean, I wish you'd have known this 14 years ago.
Absolutely.
But if you just went back a year, if you had been to the workshop a year ago, how much more money do you think you would have made in the last year if you'd have known this just a year ago?
Oh, easy. I know from last year, if I took the same information, if I took this class a year ago, being conservative, I have no doubt I probably would have made $300,000 more dollars.
Excuse me. Did you put that the value to the investment was 5 to 1, or did you mean to put 50 to 1?
I thought that was my limit on there. You know? You gave the options. I tried to read my L&M. It said 1 to 1 or 5 to 1, so I put 5 to 1.
No,
talk to me in 2, 3 when I come back for the
No, the real value. If somebody said, because it's a $10,000 ticket to get in,
yeah.
What was the value to you if you had to put a dollar amount on it?
Yeah. I mean, the value to me, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, that'd be a, you know, 30 to 1 value on it.
So at least 300,000, just maybe in 1 year.
Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway? I mean, when people walk out of the room, they felt like, I know that it was, some people have said it's like drinking from a fire hose, right?
Yeah.
There's a massive amount of information we deliver. But when you're walking out that door, what are you taking with you that's going to be for the first time, what's the big game changer for you walking out that door that you're thinking about flying home, going, this was the most valuable thing that I got for me, besides everything, just something you could focus on and said, this is my biggest takeaway? What would you say it was?
You know, my biggest takeaway as far as for me is I take away, you know, there's hope.
Okay.
And which is a big thing. A different set of the marketplace that's still in construction that I can go after. I mean, I have no doubt that I can do this work. And, you know, The biggest takeaway is hope, and that comes from just, I've eliminated the fear.
Okay.
To me, when I try to do anything as a business, I try to make an educated decision. You gather all the information that you can. You put it there, you weigh the pros and cons out. And that's what you got to do. You got to weigh the decision, And when I look at this, and a lot of it, fear really comes from the unknown. So this was an eye-opener, but and I've looked at federal stuff before, but I haven't found anything else out there on the internet that has been as comprehensive as this.
Okay.
Really to do that, because here's the difference, is for my focus when I do the private sector, it is a lot of guys going after a narrow market. It's like a pack of dogs going after a bone. And I look in this federal market, you got a pack of dogs going after a herd of buffalo.
Yeah.
And it's different.
So just the last question, two things. One, what's your biggest takeaway for being here?
Probably got rid of the fears that I had of, going nationwide. Just all the information. It's hard to pinpoint. A little bit of everything is a tremendous amount of.
It's comprehensive.
It is.
Covers everything.
It does a lot.